Hi, I'm Randy Robison. Welcome to Life Today TV. With me today is Melissa Ohden, who has an extraordinary story. If you saw her on Life Today, you know it by now. If you didn't, you can see that at lifetoday.org. We're going to talk about some very interesting things today that are personal and also very relatable in our society. Melissa, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
In case somebody's just popped in and they don't know anything, give them the very, I know it's a long story, but give them the basic, the bottom line here so we can just have a place to go from.
Yeah, the brief version is that I'm a child who survived an abortion. My birth mother was forced 38 years ago to have a saline infusion abortion. That procedure should have scalded me to death from the outside in. I was subjected to it for over 5 days.
I didn't know that.
It should have been completed within 3, but for some unknown reason, I soaked in it for 5. I just truly believe the intention was for that to scald me to death. They weren't taking any chances. Oh. And then I was delivered on the 5th day, believed to be a successful abortion, a deceased child. And lo and behold, I was delivered alive.
You must be the most stubborn, most fighting person in the world.
Where's my husband? No, yeah, he would tell you that. Yeah. Absolutely, I was born a fighter, and I've come to embrace that. But yeah, the odds were stacked against me. I was left to die. Nurses rallied for medical care to be provided to me that I am forever grateful for. But the doctors didn't believe I would live for very long. I weighed a little less than 3 pounds, suffered from lots of complications. Premature, yes. My birth mother thought she was less than 5 months pregnant with me, but my medical records reflect that the doctors thought I looked like I was about 31 weeks when I survived.
Wow.
So, yeah, the doctors didn't think I would live for very long, and then started to say, well, if this baby continues to live, she's going to be blind, deaf, suffer from emotional and mental disabilities.
Right, and you got none of that.
Well, I like to believe that I don't.
But the rest of us don't have.
Absolutely, yes. All kidding aside, I'm probably one of the healthiest people that I know of.
Yeah. Okay, there's so many things we could talk about. Let's talk about, just so people know, you were adopted. And wonderful parents.
Amazing parents.
And then found your birth mother years later?
Yeah, I think that's hard for some people.
Did she know you survived?
She didn't. This has been like this evolutionary process, and I believe that is how God writes the stories of our lives. One chapter unfolds when we're ready and capable, to be living out that chapter. And so I didn't find out until 2 years ago that my birth mother was forced to abort me against her will, and that she spent most of her life believing that I had died that day.
Wow.
I never saw that coming. People have all kind of these pinpoints in my life where they go, didn't you expect this? No, I'm sorry. This is a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, no way.
No, and so she believed that I had died that day at the hospital. My survival was kept a secret. And certainly we don't know how that adoption took place against, essentially against her will. She didn't know. She didn't knowingly sign over her rights to me.
Oh yeah, was it even legal? Yeah, you don't know.
We don't know who was responsible for it. But
well, who do you think was in control of it?
My grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Because my grandmother forced the abortion upon her.
Oh, okay.
My grandmother delivered me there at the hospital. All signs would point to that. I may not ever know, but
she was a legal guardian of your mother at the time.
No, she wasn't.
No?
No. But I think when it comes to a life like mine, none of these things were routine.
No.
So nobody but God is going to know, and I cannot. And I can only imagine what He's going to.
Ultimately, He was in control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I love now is that even though I was taken from my birth mother, and those are the words that she has said. A couple years ago, she wrote to me on my birthday, and she said, 36 years ago today, I was robbed of you.
I would almost think this is harder on her than it is you.
It is. And those words break my heart because, yes, this happened to me, but she is the one who has all of the memories of it.
Yeah.
And as hard as it is that I was taken from her and she was, had this procedure forced upon her, what I love is that she loves my adoptive parents. Not a year goes by that she doesn't say now, thank your mom and dad for me. She said, you know, I like to think that you are who you are somewhat because of me, but I know that it's because your parents loved you and raised you the way that they did that you are who you are and you do what you do. And I love that.
Wow. Wow. I am adopted. Did they tell you that? And I found my birth mother when I was 25. But I didn't suffer she never considered abortion, which is why I was adopted. But it is an awkward reconciliation, and with your circumstances, I can't even imagine.
But it was a necessary very much necessary.
Yeah.
You know, I really felt burdened. I found out when I was 14 that I'd survived that failed abortion, and I really did feel burdened to find my birth parents. Yeah. And I think sometimes people question that and say, you know, you were raised by adoptive parents who loved you so much.
Right.
Why would you do that? Well, I would do that because I love my birth parents enough to lighten their burden and to let them know that they are loved and forgiven. I couldn't imagine them living their lives not knowing that I love them. And I'm grateful that my mom and dad, my adoptive parents, that's always hard for people. They go, do you call them your adoptive parents all the time?
No, just so people can differentiate between the two, right? Yeah,
it's my mom and dad.
Right.
My mom and dad always supported me, no matter what I chose to do. And that included looking for my biological parents. And I know that there are still days where they are hurt and scared for me, because they don't want to see me hurt.
Sure.
But they have always supported me on this journey, and I'm so thankful for that.
So, into all this, we see this whole current debate about abortion and the god-awful videos that have surfaced that show what's going on. What's your reaction when you see that?
You know, my first response is always, unfortunately, I was not surprised. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say. I was not surprised by those videos. You know, I live with the pain of abortion every single day. You know, I can't ever not think about it, to be honest. I look at my daughters and know that they wouldn't be alive. And as a parent, that is the most awful thing I could ever live with. And so, no, those videos didn't surprise me because this is the pain that I deal with every single day. And yes, I turned my pain into fight in a good way. But so no, I wasn't surprised, but I was horrified. And I hope our nation is horrified. And you know, what I pray for is that this is not the end.
Right.
You know, yes, I want it to be the end of what is happening there. But I think it's great that people share it on social media. You know, gosh, I would hope that the news media would cover it. But it doesn't end here. So we see the videos, and now what? What are each and every one of us going to do about it? That's my question for you, the viewer. What are you going to do about it? Now that you've seen the videos and now that you know about the horrors that happen in Planned Parenthood, you know, what are you going to do about it? It's not just about me. I'm not the only one. Yes, God gave me this particular life for a reason, but everybody is called to do something.
Do you ever, and I don't want to put anything on you that's not there, but do you ever feel like, in a way, you represent those who aren't here?
Absolutely. And my tears come because I'm so humbled by that. You know, we've lost nearly 54 million children in our country in a little over 40 years. And I spent years of my life saying, why, Lord? Why me? I mean, what is so special about me? As opposed to all of them, why me? I don't know why me.
No, they're all special. That's
yeah,
the thing.
absolutely. The difference just is I was given this life and now I need to do something with it. Yeah. And I can only hope that those children would have done the same with theirs. So yes, I'm humbled by that, and I know that I am called to be their voice.
How do we change the hearts of the young women who are doing this? I mean, I don't think they're all monsters.
No.
I think most of them are just either scared,
coerced.
Oftentimes coerced, especially by men. Yeah. I would think men would be the bad guys in the most scenarios, or ignorant, not really. You know, they believe they don't understand that is a person. You know, personhood starts long before birth.
Well, and a lot of women, the majority of women identify that it really is because of socioeconomic reasons. So, they can't afford it. Nobody is there to support them. All of those things that actually we, as the church, can help alleviate and address. And I think that's such an important thing to point out. We can help meet the needs of other people. I had a woman on my Facebook page the other day who had kind of admonished a whole group and said, how dare you blame these parents? Because there were these parents who had a failed abortion in another country. The child lived, and they sued because she was alive.
Oh, my.
And then they were suing again because they needed to continue to live a certain lifestyle that they wanted to live without a child. And so, people had a lot of really colorful things to say.
Yeah.
But this woman, I was so grateful for her, though. She jumped in and said, you know what? I was not supported in my pregnancy, and I needed a lot of help. And I turned to people, and nobody helped me. And it was beautiful because I jumped in to say thank you. People do need to hear that. I believe that we are all called to do something to help someone else. So we can all be part of the solution. I truly believe that.
As awful as it is, the whole thing, all that's going on has been revealed. Most of us, most Christians that I know, they don't want to go stand outside and hold a protest sign or do, anything that you would think of as an activist would do as a pro-life activist. But I think what I hear you saying is that the most important thing you could do is go support a woman who has a need.
Absolutely. And the first thing people can do is love somebody. Love somebody. And I always like to remind people, you never know who's pregnant. I mean, I've been to so many high schools, and babies have been saved because people are there in the audience and they're pregnant and they have an abortion scheduled and they hear my story and they don't go through with it. And I've been able to help guide some of them on that journey. But I share that because I like to remind people it's about our everyday actions and words that will tell people and communicate how much they are loved. And so then in their time of need, they will know that they will still be loved. Yeah. And then we can meet that need.
Yeah. No, I think that's such a critical thing. The church has got to be the church. And yes, we stand against things that are wrong, but more strongly and vocally we stand for things that are right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so if someone wants to follow you, or your Facebook, or website, and Twitter, how do you connect?
My website's Melissa Ohden, OHDEN.com.
Yeah, we got it.
And on Facebook, I believe it's Melissa Ohden Fan. That's awkward when I say it that way.
Do you have links to your social media from your website?
I do.
Great.
Yeah, and people can follow me on Twitter also. And I don't have a book out yet. It's been a work in progress. If you ask my husband, it's been buried underneath our bed for years. That'd be true, but we're unburying it, and there will be something people can just, follow me on social media or on my page.
You're still writing chapters.
Absolutely. God's not done yet.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.